You can see I have a crack in my stovetop. This is a GE induction stovetop. So today we're going to try to replace it. First, make sure you unplug your range from the wall and slide it out. Here's the replacement top. It costs about $700, so they're not cheap. Okay, we're going to need to take these screws out in the back. I'm going to use my 2 screws to get that off. I like to have a bowl available just so we don't lose any of the screws. Okay, it looks like there's a couple screws here in the front. I'm going to try to take those out.
What is their bias? What is their motives?
Okay, it looks like it's a torque bit, so I had to dig one up. So we're going to try to take those out. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to take this front panel off. There's a couple screws underneath on each side. It's loose. I'm going to try to be as careful as I can taking it out. It looks like there's a lot of loose wires hanging in there, so we don't want to break anything, so be careful. Okay, that's what it looks like. I needed to disconnect this one wire just so I could set it down without pulling on the wires too hard. So there's a couple screws on the inside that we're going to need to take out. That should be no problem. Okay, now that we got those screws out, it looks like we have to take a couple more out in the back here on each side. Okay, that loosened it enough that the whole top is able to be taken off. Looks like we're going to have to disassemble that top piece though, because I think the electronics are hooked to the bottom of it. So here's what it looks like underneath. So it looks like we're going to have to do a little bit more disassembling, but shouldn't be too bad. We're going to need to disconnect these wires, so probably a good idea to take a picture of them so you know how to reassemble them once we're done. So since these 4 sets of wires are the same color, I'm clipping one end together so I know how to put it back on and they all go in the right spot. Okay, there's just a few screws on each side of this panel. I'm going to take those off and hopefully the top will come off then. So in addition to those screws on the side, it looks like there's 4 screws that are staggered across the middle. This is the replacement part we're looking at, and we need to find those same spots on the panel that we're replacing. Okay, now that we have those screws out, you can see this should lift right off, and now we should be able to put this on top of our replacement panel. Okay, I put the burner unit we just took out into the new glass top. Now we just need to screw it back together. Okay, now that that is assembled, we're going to need to reattach the wires. So just put them on the same way you took them off. Good luck. Okay, I attached all the wires back up. So we're ready to attach the top to the stove. Okay, I put the top back on. Moved it around a little bit to make sure all the screw holes line up. And we're going to put those screws in now. Okay, we screwed the top down, and now we're going to need to put the control panel on the front. Don't forget to connect any wires you disconnected prior to doing that. Okay, now that we have those screws in, you're going to want to assemble the vent piece. It just kind of snaps in there. And the last two screws to put in are to attach the vent piece to the stove. Okay, now you need to put that last vent piece in. There's no screws, it just kind of sits in there. Okay, all done. Thanks for watching. I hope it helps you out.